What is going on, everybody? Good evening, good evening, good evening. I'm just waiting for some more people to join the live. Then again, it is pretty late. It's Friday night. I need to find a new gym now. I definitely need to find a new gym. I'm in the parking lot of Lifetime, and this gym sucks. I need to find a new gym ASAP. I do have a membership to LA Fitness. I think I might have to go back there. Yeah, I already have a membership with LA Fitness. I just haven't really been there in years. But I have this membership to Lifetime. I have a Signature Club membership too for LA Fitness. So I'm going to have to check them out. What's up, Damali? What's going on? We had a very heated discussion last night. It was actually very hilarious. Love from Vancouver, bro. What's going on, Stock Boy? Vancouver, where, what part of Vancouver? Well, not what part of Vancouver, but where is Vancouver? Is that in Washington or is that in Canada? Praise Yakub. Yeah, we had a very heated discussion last night. I was talking about Trayvon Martin and how when you go back and you really read that case and you go back and you listen to all the evidence and you understand the reasons why George Zimmerman got away, why he got acquitted, you quickly realize, damn, like Trayvon Martin was a young nigga crash out. I was like, man, that's crazy. That shit. Even though George Zimmerman should have never followed him in the first place, but love your energy and mindset, Quan. Thank you so much, Herm. Nobody else is saying anything else. I guess everybody just wants me to speak. If I side with Zimmerman publicly, it'll be entertaining, I guess. Yeah, it's not a popular opinion to say that he should have been acquitted. Um, it never tells me when you're live. Oh my god! Well, I just reactivated my account. Every time I go live, after I get off live, I deactivate my account. Um, should I go out tonight, Quan? Where are you trying to go? You trying to go get some dick? A bar? Girl, you better just pull out that. Well, no, actually, you're in California, so what is it like? 9:20 there? You said a lot is low vibrational. You don't think going to the bar is low vibrational? You trying to be the man? Oh, it's popping because of the World Series. You saw that dude who blew his hand off with them fireworks? What's the homeless problem like in LA? Is it really bad? Have you ever been to FAMU Homecoming, Quan? I've actually never been to FAMU's campus ever. I went to Tallahassee once, like over 20 years ago when I was at UF, and I wasn't impressed with FSU. Back then it was dirty. I don't know if it's still like that now, but it was definitely weird comparing FSU with UF. But I've never been to FAMU's campus. I don't do, listen, you gotta understand something about Quan Millz. I'm low key a coon. I need to be around the white folks, the right folks. I'm a low key Uncle Ruckus. I can't be around too many niggas because they do too much shit, which is hilarious because I just booked an airline ticket to go to Atlanta in May. But my threshold for niggatry is like it's like 15%. I got a 15% rule. If I go in a room and there's 100 people, if there's more than 20 black people, I'll be like, what's going on here? Nah, same though. Literally, me living in DC. Yeah, DC. But DC is very. DC is different though. DC is not like. DC is kind of a bubble because there's a lot more normal black people that live there. Like, don't get me wrong, you got a lot of niggatry you got a lot of niggatry in DC, but it's not like going to Detroit or Chicago or St. Louis or LA or Oakland. You got to be real careful in some of these major cities. What's up, Soraya? You got to be very careful in these overly populated nigga cities, cause I'm telling you, uh, you fuck around and mm-mm. Do I have any goals for the next 60 days? I do actually. I do. I'm gonna write 2 books. I'm gonna lose some more weight, and that's pretty much it. I like to keep my goals simple now. The older I get, the more I realize you really want to put all your energy into a handful of things. You don't want to try to spread yourself too thin. Come to Portugal. Why are you trying to link up with me? You trying to link up with a real nigga? I do want to go to Portugal though. I do want to go there. I do want to go to Portugal. But how do they treat black people over there? Cause I ain't trying to go over there and get discriminated against. I want to fuck with Brazil. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I know. I want to go there too. I want to go to Brazil. No chance. Huh. I'm gonna put that on my destination list then. I don't want to go to France. There's nothing appealing at all about France to me. There's nothing. There's a lot of parts of Europe that just don't appeal to me. Brazil is where the baddies are at. I know. I know. I know. I know. Brazil got that rainbow coalition pussy. They got all colors. They got them all there. But I hear that gym culture, fitness culture is like on a whole different level in Brazil. Like you can't go there. You got to be on point. Cause I hear that Brazilians they take that shit experience serious. Worst experience there. Where in Brazil, I don't want to go to Morocco or I don't want to go to Italy. Nothing about the Middle East honestly appeals to me. At least, at least like Egypt, I don't want to go there. That old musty rat infested city, Cairo. You've been to Morocco? Come to Lisbon. You can stay with me. I'll show you around. It's alright. What you want? You trying to get that green card? What's up, Rasta Marv? I know that's some black market shit. I know she trying to bait me. I know she trying to be on 90 Day Fiance season 8. I'm Portuguese. Why would I want to live in America? I don't. Maybe you want one of my kidneys. I don't know. You want my kidney? Cause I'm gonna go over there like a fool, naive, meet you. You're gonna take me back to an apartment, and then we're gonna be chilling. Next thing you know, I'm gonna pass out. Then I'm gonna wake up in the bathtub on ice with a damn IV in my arm, and what do you call it? She said dramatic. I'm just playing. Oh my god. Somebody said, "Oh my god, I love you, Roland Martin." Why do y'all do that? Why do y'all come into the chat and just be comparing me to, or just, and I notice that only black people do this. Black people are the worst. I'm telling you right now, that's another reason I don't fuck with a lot of black people. Black people are bullies. Black people got some deep seated psychological issues, self esteem shit going on because the way black people just relentlessly talk about people in a way like it's just so vitriolic for no reason. Like, um, there's a guy, he's a fitness trainer. Yeah, they're haters. Yeah, they're straight up haters. Like, it's a dude going viral right now. Um, Not for real. Why they just come out the cut like that? So spontaneous, right? It's a dude right now going viral. His name is Quan. He's a trainer, and he was, and he's gone viral for this before because nobody can believe um, that he's only 33 years old because he looks a little bit older, right? And he was like, I just recently turned 33, and I was back in Chicago, and I passed by a building that I got evicted from. No, people just glossed right over what he was saying, and they just were so hyper focused on the fact that he said that he was 33, and it was nothing but black people in the comment section just straight up harassing him, making fun of him. Like, it was so insane, and I'm like, and then what gets me is all these people that were talking shit, when I would then go back and look at them and their profiles, I'm like, sweetheart, you're not in any position to be sitting up here on this app judging this man. It was this one bitch, she was going in on him, and then when I went to her profile, she had some straight up pancake titties. And then she looked like motherfucking uh Cleo's girlfriend from Set It Off in the face. I'm like, bitch, you look old your damn self, and you probably only like 24, 25 with them pancake titties. Don't sit up there and talk about that man. But then, see, here's the thing, and this is what I don't like sometimes, and black women are very, 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 very notorious for doing this. Then when you clap back, especially if you clap back to a black woman, then they want to call you gay. They want to say, oh, you shouldn't, you, like they want to go back and forth with you, and then they say, oh, don't you know it's a, what do you call it? It's a, that's some female shit for you to be going back and forth with a female. I'm like, shut the fuck up, ho. Yeah, because they love doing that shit. They love, and then the thing that blows me is, then they call you gay as if that's an insult. Like, it's so juvenile, because I'm like, why even act like, why even, like, there are plenty of masculine gay men. So why even bring that up into the conversation as if it's like 1991 or 1992 or some shit? And then some of these, I'm telling you right now, some of these women, they be going, they be on here, like, even when I was making my videos, and then I'll be seeing people talk shit, and then I'll be going to their profile, and I'll be like, I could have said some shit that would make somebody cry. Cause one thing about me, I could go low. I could go so nasty, so low. Like, I will make you cry for the rest of your life. I will get you so nasty. I will get so nasty with you. I will have your ass in therapy for about a good decade. I will have your ass talking to Dr. Phil every damn day. I will have your ass on a motherfucking. I will have you using your motherfucking EAP benefits. That's if you even got it. That's if you even got benefits. You might have to go down to motherfucking to the Medicaid office and see if they cover mental health therapy. Uh, because when I get, I could get really nasty. Yeah, I'll be their 13th reason why. Yeah, because I will say some shit that you be ready to go and you want to kill me. Now, for real though, growing up overweight, people would say mean things to me and then they look worse to me. Yeah, exactly. But see, I don't go there though. I have learned to ignore people at this point. I'm too old to be sitting up here getting into arguments, going back and forth with people. And like that dude, I felt legitimately sorry for him because first of all, one thing he needs to do, to be honest with you, he needs to get rid of that mustache and he needs to invest in a good skincare routine. And but he does have an old face though. He does have an old face, but who cares? He Let me tell you the reason why, and I'm not even going to say he has an old face. I'm not even going to say that. You know what kind of face he got? He got a face that you could tell he's into white women. And there's nothing wrong with that. But he doesn't have that typical face of a dude. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You could look at some black men and they just got the face and you just know they've always just had a thing for white girls. Like they've been around white people most of their lives and they probably wind up with a white girl marrying one and have a whole bunch of interracial children. But I don't like it when I be seeing black people do it. I'm like, that's a mental illness. That is a mental illness to be on the internet. And I do not comment. I watch people's videos, but I don't comment. I don't do none of that shit. To me, after a while, that shit gets kind of weird. Because why are you going back and forth? What question are you talking about? I don't know why people will be going back and forth in the comment section. When I was at the height of posting videos, that's another reason why I stopped because some people they just made it so intolerable because it People, they be going back and forth with each other for weeks on my damn videos. The same person. What question are you talking about? How old am I? How old do you want me to be, Soraya? I'm 40. I am 40 years old. I'm old enough to be your father. I am an Aries. I'm old enough to be both your father and a possible. You know what? Like, let me stop. I've always been genuinely interested, though, in what goes through the mind of a man who messes around with an 18 or 19-year-old girl. It's about power. Everybody keeps saying that. I don't think it's about power. Women love saying that shit. It ain't about power, to be honest with you. It ain't about power. I want to say really what I want to say, but I know I'm gonna creep some of you all out. So I want to refrain from saying what I really want to say. So, most men prefer to be with younger women by default. They do. They just not gonna want to talk about it aloud. Most men, if they had their choice, it has nothing to do with naivete or immaturity. It's just a simple looks, appearance, sexual appeal. It's just that a man who's in his you think most men are pedophiles. A man when he gets to a certain age, he about in his late 30s, he don't want to be with a woman in her late 30s. He wants to be with a woman who's much younger, like 20s, early 20s, mid 20s, cause he wants some young tender pussy. He don't want no um got divorced, got 2, 3 kids already. Um, that's me right now. Wait, are you a man or a woman, Henny, in the Plan B? That's why all men have rich, younger girlfriends. Yeah. And one thing that a lot of women don't seem to realize is that one of the reasons why a lot of men want to get with younger, I'm not projecting, I'm not. One of the reasons why a lot of men want to get with younger women, and I'm gonna sound like a creep saying this, but young pussy is like is medicinal, if that makes any sense. Younger women want you? No, I'm not saying that. I don't know how you extrapolated that. First of all, I'm 40 years old and I'm married. He said that's a crazy statement. Not gonna lie. Exactly, Joey. See, Joey gets it. It's medicinal. It's like young pussy is like natural TRT. See, when you get with that old pussy that is on the verge of menopause, it don't hit the same. The energy of it, the vibe, all of the problem. Not I wouldn't say problems, but all of the complexities that come along with old pussy is just different. But yeah, it's the same thing with Young Dick. That's exactly, it's the same exact thing. And there's a woman, she was going viral on the app because she was talking about this, that she was, be careful linking up with these young niggas because they be ready to go at it. They be ready to bust things down, and like they trying to go multiple times a day. So that's nasty. Girl, you better stop being so damn prude. How old are you, T? You 33? Go ahead and get you one of them young dreadheads, but them 10-inch Peters. Like one of them tall young dreadheads. Where are you from? Go on. Oh, you married. Get you one of them young nigga dreadhead crash outs. I think you did tell me you were in California, you're in LA, right? Yeah, go ahead and get you one of them young niggas. And you don't gotta do that. You don't gotta do a lot for them either. All you gotta do is just get them some weed, get them some damn reefer money, get them like $100, make them some spaghetti, or make them buy them yeah, buy them some shoes. Exactly. I was just about to say that. Oh, get him a PS5. I'm dead serious. She said, I'm in shape unlike you. Where did that come from? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? And how would you know that I'm not in shape? It's so funny how people be making all types of assumptions. I knew that was gonna happen. I was gonna say that what do you call it? Don't get it twisted, baby. I might be fat, but I can guarantee you. Listen, if you were to do one of my workouts, you would die. You wouldn't stand not even 15 minutes. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. And I'm not bragging or boasting. It's just the God's honest truth. You would die. I would get your heart. You will probably go into AFib. But I don't get why you in the chat insulting me though. I never insulted you. So clearly you have issues though. You have. I think you. I don't know why all of a sudden you're insulting me. But again, this is what I've been talking about in terms of black people, particularly black women. You all have psychological issues. Where all of a sudden are all these insults coming from? And then when people hurl them back at you, do y'all see this? Oh well, she's a nail tech. Okay, that explains a lot then. Probably barely graduated from community college, if you even went to a community college. But I didn't even crack a joke on her. I was just saying, go get you a young crash out, a young nigga. Yeah, 3 kids, 3 baby daddies. That's what I'm like. What is she talking about? I never insulted her. Which tells me that I think she's semi-illiterate. Okay, I couldn't put my finger on it, but yes, the crazy one seems like they hallucinate. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get that. But it's always black people that do this. In particular black women. Black women be some straight up bullies too. Just nasty, mean bullies. And then what gets me is then they get mad when people point that out. Is it all black women? Of course not, but it's a good majority. Walking around with that chip on the shoulder, nasty attitude. That's what she was doing. She was reporting my live because she didn't like what I was saying. Now, I was talking about how a lot of black people are bullies, in particular black women. And then when you clap back, all of a sudden you get called sassy and gay. Because I was talking about, I just got on live not too long ago. But right, literally proving me right. Exactly, right. Literally proving me right in real time. It was so amazing. And I didn't even say anything to her to prompt her to just start relentlessly attacking me. It was so weird. It was just so bizarre. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Like, it's just so amazing. But you could never say anything back. That's the thing. You could never say anything back to a black woman. A black woman is always right. You can never say anything back to them. Never. Black woman is always right. Even when they get real nasty and gutter snipish with you, you just gotta agree with them and let them just go off and do their own thing. Let them cuss you out. Let them attack you. Let them talk crazy to you and just walk away. We need to go back to blocking what's happened. Blocking them. Yeah, exactly. Then what happened? That's why I'll never tell black men not to date out. Yeah, because black men, the funny thing about that is, and now that I think about it, and it's not all black women, but the crazy thing is, even black women be bullying other black women. I see it all the time on TikTok and Instagram. I'm like, God damn. They be That shit be blowing my mind. That you on like one hand, black women will be so ferocious about black women empowerment, but they be like the biggest bullies. That shit be mind blowing to me. And they be talking so much shit behind each other's back. That shit be blowing my fucking mind. All mean girls I know are black women. Yeah, they really are. Even, oh my god, I'm like, where does this come from? Where does this really come from? Somebody has to do some research into this because even growing up, I've always been taunted by black women. Even recently, here's the funny thing: all the people who were talking shit on when I made my videos, all the people who had really horrible, nasty things to say, they were all black women. That was the other thing that was blowing my mind. I'm like, damn. I think it stems from a need of power and undesirability. I I was going to say that. I was going to say that. And my mom, she said something to me years ago, and I thought she was just being a bit hyperbolic about it. Because you know, my mom is very fair skinned. She's very bright to the point where, on a good day, if like, especially growing up, if we would go somewhere, people would just assume that she was Hispanic. So, like, people would just start talking Spanish to her, right? But my mom told me we had a conversation recently, and she was like, but she always told me, she would tell me this growing up, and I just used to think that she was being extremely colorist. But she would always tell me that she was like, no, like, she was like, from her experience, she was like, it just seems like the darker women get, the more mean they become. And I think that is because of just a real deep, just having to deal with colorism. Because I can see that. I can see that if you are a woman and then you also have a very dark complexion, of course, society is going to tell you that like you are the most undesirable of all women, and you grow up internalizing that, and that could turn you into like somebody who becomes very just combative and mean, and you know, I can see that. I can definitely, because the way dark skinned black men don't receive the same type of maltreatment as dark skinned black women. They don't. That's something else too that doesn't really get acknowledged. Dark skinned black men get a whole different type of treatment than dark skinned black women. Dark skinned black men are fetishized, whereas dark skinned black women are just out the gate, just made to be just extreme, like they're made out to be very unattractive and stuff. And then you will never hear somebody say, "Oh, you're pretty attractive to be a dark skinned black guy." Like I've never heard anybody growing up. I've never heard anybody say that, but you will always hear somebody say, "Oh, you're pretty good looking for a dark for to be dark skinned." That is always said to women. So that I think that's where that's coming from. Like that bullying and that taunting. That has to that's some deeply internalized, just deep seated, just having to deal with. You kind of in a way the you kind of mirror the monster that. Which is why I also hope dark skinned black women date out of the race too and find true love wherever. Yeah, because a lot of times too, because black men, and that's another thing too that doesn't get talked about enough, because a lot of black men are very colorist, like very extreme with it too. I had a friend and he used to say this shit, and sometimes I used to just cringe. I used to just be like, damn, like that sounds like, he always used to tell me, he was like, oh man, you make sure you don't date a dark skinned black girl, because he was like, Kobe, your hair is too good for you to be mixing it up with a dark skinned black girl. I'm like, nigga, what? I was like, do you hear yourself right now? Like, he used to tell me this shit all the time. Because, when I had hair, it's like very curly, straight. But he always used to tell me, he's like, yeah, man, make sure you don't marry no dark skinned black girl, because you got to preserve your hair. And I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about? But a lot of black men think like this. A lot of black men, yeah. And it's hard too, especially in Miami. Especially in Miami, I'm not mixed for anything. My thing is, if you don't like dark skinned black men, why always speak about us? Who was Dogs was friends with eugenicists? It's a lot of black men that think that way. They do. Like, even on what was it? Love at First Sight, or no, Married at First Sight. Remember the dude Clay? I think that was his name. No, it was Married at First Sight. No, it was two shows like this. It was Married at First Sight, and it was another show recently, Love Is Blind. And in both of those instances, that dude, man, talking about, well, she's just not my type. No, she's dark skinned. She's not that. Just say that. The dude who owned the Subway franchises gonna sit up there and say, oh, she's just not my type. No, she's dark skinned. That's the reason why. Yeah, yeah. And then the other dude, when they got to the altar, and then he was like, yeah, I think we should just, take our time. I'm like, let me tell you something. Black, if that was a mixie, if that was one of them Nick Cannon mixed up bitches, trust me, that nigga would have had that ring. He would have married. He would have had. It wouldn't be no damn show. He would have married her within the first minute of meeting her. That nigga would have been on his knees. They were like, "Sir, what are you doing? We gotta still film like 10 episodes." No, I want to marry her right now. It would have been no damn show. Give a Black men love them a light skinned mixie. They do. I always say this. Gotta have them small teeth, big gums. They wear glasses. You ever notice a light? Gotta have some freckles. Oh yeah, and that's another thing too. That's another thing. You're right. Oh my God. Once it listen, you're if you're black and like if you're mixed, right? But people can't tell out from the gate that you're mixed, right? They'll treat you like any other person or any other nigga, I should say. But as soon as they find out, oh, you're half, suddenly it's like people they just know you finna have some good looking kids. They want to get with you. Yeah, you're white at the point. Exactly. Soon as they find out. Now I'm gonna tell you something else too that people do. Listen to me when I tell you this. A black woman that's dark skinned will not get the same treatment like a black woman that's from a different country who's dark skinned. Because I can almost guarantee you, a woman who's from the UK, dark skinned, is going to be seen as more intelligent, got more potential than a black woman from like Mississippi or Louisiana or Chicago or whatever, or Detroit. Yeah, I'm telling you, I know the nigga psychology. I know anybody from Europe, really. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, I know nigga psychology. I know how this shit works. Now I'm gonna tell you what's really hard to nab a half black, half white girl, cause they don't mess with black men. I noticed this. They really do not mess with black men. Is it just me? Am I the only one that notices this? I've never seen a half black, half white girl date a full on black man. I ain't never seen that. But I've seen half black, half Hispanic, half black and half Asian mess with black men. But I've never seen a half black, half white girl mess with a black man. And now I know why. I ain't never seen it. But I know why they don't mess with them. Because they're more white identifying, especially if they've been acculturated around their, especially, and depending on how mixed they look. Because let me tell you, some of those mixed people that are half black, half white, but they're more passing, and they get brought around their white family. They white family be talking shit about black people, and that's the reason why they ain't gonna mess with no black man. Yeah, because they know Mima and Papa and Uncle John and Uncle Chris and Uncle Kevin. Oh, they don't like niggas. They don't like them, but they'll make an exception for you because you're different. Yeah, they'll make an exception for you. I don't know about every white family. What about someone like Lotto? Because her mom is what do you call it? See, that's different. Her mom's a hood rat. That's different. That's different. See, white people who've been acculturated around black people, that's different. What I'm talking about is white people. I'm talking about no, no. Now, if you do see a black person, if the mom is white, I'm telling you, that girl, she ain't gonna mess. The Orange Theory white moms. Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, that girl is, if that mama is white, that girl ain't finna have no black boyfriend. But if the daddy is white and the mama is black, then it's gonna be, then they got a chance. They probably will. And let me tell you too, you could meet some half white, half black people, and you would never know that they were mixed. You would never know that they were mixed. And let me tell you the reason why too. That's why, like with Halle Berry, for instance, everybody was shocked when they found out that she was half white. I always thought she was full black. I never knew that she was mixed. But there are some black people. Andrew Tate and his brother are good examples, especially, yeah. See, now, Andrew Tate, I knew he was black. I knew he was half white, half black. His genes, his particular iteration of genes, I was okay, he's mixed. But his brother looks like a full-fledged white man. And let me tell you the reason why they look like that. Exactly. There you go, Pressure. This is like, what's his name? Logic, the rapper. And I hate it when they do that. I hate it when they do that because it's like, dude, you are not fully. At that point, you are white. Your mom is white and your dad is half black, half white. Your ass is white. You are a quarter black. You are not black. You are not black. So stop that. Stop that. Who's Halsey? Who's that? I hate it when they do that because and that's usually what happens. My wife is half white, half black, but she looks 100% full white. Her sister looks more Latina. Exactly, I'm telling you. Yeah, them octoroons. I'm telling you, them half white, half black girls, they do not fuck with niggas like that. They don't. And let me tell you too, another reason why they don't fuck with them. Cause when they was in school and everybody knew they was mixed, they was getting, if they had to go to a school where there was around a whole bunch of black people, oh, you better believe they got teased. They were probably called all types of names and, oh, you think you better than folks cause your mama white. Oh, you think you better than folks cause your mama white. You still got nigga hair. You still got nappy hair. I'm telling you. Well, them black girls though, they be so mean. They be so. No one was. Yes, they were in the '90s. Yes, they were. I'm telling you, growing up in the '90s, y'all, your young kids don't know how bad it is. How bad it was back then. People used to get legitimately teased and bullied in school. Teased and bullied in school. You could do about it. You come home, you tell your mom what such and such said, she gonna be like, okay, well tell him. Like it was a thing. The Dirty Dozens, like you, people used to get really teased and bullied, and you just had to take it. Let's be glad there are some changes now. I guess. But you know, it's so funny because do kids still get bullied now? They do, they do. But it's not like how it was back in the '90s. I can tell you that much. Everybody, you people, you don't be fat. You're gonna get teased. Don't be, especially if you black. I'm telling you, when you was in elementary school, they was gonna call you all types of names. But and growing up in Miami, if you were Haitian, ooh, they got it the worst. They used to be like, "Oh, Haitians got AIDS. Oh, you got HBO, Haitian body odor. Oh, you eat cats." All that shit that Donald Trump was talking about, but them folks in Springfield, Ohio, yeah, y'all ain't heard nothing. Let me take your ass back to 1995 in Miami-Dade County. You gonna hear some nasty, downright disrespectful shit coming out the mouths of black people about. Because that's another thing too. Up until recently, black folks really wasn't fucking with other black ethnic groups like that, especially in Miami-Dade County. See, I think New York is a bit different because you've always had like a large number of people from the Caribbean, right, in New York City, even all the way back from like the early 1900s. Miami, that's recent. That's like, I wouldn't say recent, but like in the last 40 years, 40, 50 years. NYC was the same thing. Oh, okay. See, I'm telling you, yeah. Black folks do not, they would say, and even to this day, they would still say some shit. Ugh, I don't eat that food. I don't know, I don't want to eat that. Them peoples eat cat. Them people eat cat. They do voodoo. Got a Haitian neighbor, they might invite you to church. Nah, I'm going to my own church. I don't, I go to my own church. Y'all be doing that voodoo. That fufu stink. I ain't that. You know what? Let me just say this. I've had fufu in the goosey soup. That shit low key was stink. That shit low key smelled like a zoo. That shit was low key stink. And fufu just tastes like dough, like just straight up dough. That shit was. I remember when it was going viral on TikTok. I'm like, y'all lying. Y'all are lying. Y'all lying. Y'all lying. That shit was stink. I got that shit from a Nigerian restaurant here in Chicago, in the suburbs in Arlington Heights. That shit but stink. Now jollof rice is kind of low key good, but that shit smell like the zoo. That shit smell like Miami Metro Zoo. A goosey is nasty, but pepper stew is good as fuck. I'll take your word for it. I can't mess with African. Now Ethiopian food, but West. Now I'll tell you what's also good. Senegalese food. That shit. Now that shit is good. Senegalese food, but that the goosey soup and all that with that fufu and whatnot. Mm-mm. What about Habibi food? Oh, I don't mess with that type of food either. Mm-mm. Arab food is overrated, heavily overrated. I've never people listen. They be doing some weird shit too. They be putting raisins and rice. Like I'm like I remember. I went. My wife when she was a wedding planner. She had a friend named Martin, and he was from Iraq. And his mom, I went over to his place, and his mom, she cooked for us. I was like, they will put raisins and potatoes. Well, I don't know if they do potatoes and stuff, but I'm good on that. I saw them raisins, and they, oh my god, why would you put raisins in rice? And they use a lot of like earthy ass spices like coriander and cinnamon and motherfucking. They be putting all the spices sometimes don't mix together. Now Ethiopian food is good. I actually want to try it again, like Dodo Wat. Well, Ethiopian food can be very overpowering with the smells too. talk, black people are black people are the only people who really know how to cook. Cause something else too, white people can't cook. They can't. White people cannot cook. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. That shit they cannot cook. Black people and Hispanics, they're the only people that can really cook. Like Mexicans, they be cooking. But that's why they backs be like wide. That you see Mexican girls, their backs be wide as a motherfucker. Back wide, back having no neck, having 4 feet tall, 300 pounds, all that corn. Yeah, only white people from the South can cook. Yeah, that's the only thing. Um, Pretty much the South. But I'm telling you, white people cannot cook. They can't. Now, I want to go down to Louisiana. Now, them white folks down there, they be cooking. Them white folks in Louisiana, because of them Cajuns. But see, those are not normal white people. I don't know what the fuck they are. Um, those are not normal white people. They don't even speak English. And Creoles, yeah, exactly. I want to go back to New Orleans just for that very reason. I want to go to New Orleans. French blood, maybe. I don't think it's because they done been around some niggles. They done been around some niggles. Because black people be cooking. Niggas be cooking. Black people be cooking. They be cooking. Black people be cooking. That's why we got the worst health issues. Oh, shit. Because one thing black folks gonna do, they gonna cook. And white folks know that too. They do. They catching on to it too. White people just found out about Popeyes. They going crazy over that shit now. White people love them some Popeyes now. They don't fuck with KFC no more. They going to Popeyes. They were like, oh my god, this is Susan. I tried Popeyes for the first time last week. Oh my god, it's delicious. I'm telling you. It's so flavorful and just crispy. Because that's the nigga recipes. You fucked around with Colonel Sanders way too long. I'm telling you. And now white folks are getting hip to even buffalo wings. People don't realize this. You know a black man came up with that. You know that, right? And y'all know a black man came up with ranch dressing. I knew it. I knew it. When I found that shit out, I was like, God damn it, I knew it. A black man done came up with ranch dressing. Cause see, black folks, we don't do blue cheese. We do ranch. was a old nigga too. He came up with ranch dressing. He was the one who made Hidden Valley. Y'all knew that? He was the one who came up with Hidden Valley. I'm telling you, black folks be cooking. And Mexicans too. Mexicans be cooking. Now, them Mexicans, they be cooking. White folks, they love some I'm telling you. Now, the one thing about Mexican food, you gotta be very careful because you go to a real Mexican restaurant and you get those real salsas, you better be prepared to go home and be on a toilet for like a good 2 hours because whatever peppers they be using sometimes, you be like, oh no. Like, how do y'all have a stomach for this? And they be having all different types of sauces. Like, shit that you just be like, but them Mexicans, they be cooking. They be cooking. And their food, and the thing is, Mexican food, you really can't go wrong with that shit. Everything on the damn Mexican restaurant menu is good. Everything. I ain't never been to a Mexican restaurant and not been tempted to want to try. I mean, you cannot. Everything on a Mexican restaurant, yeah, that's actually crazy when you think about it. Everything on the motherfucking Mexican menu, you be like, damn, I might want to try that. For real. Extremely flavorful. But I'm telling you. Now, I grew up in Miami, so I grew up on Cuban food. That's completely different. I'm gonna be honest with you. Mexican food is objectively better. Don't get me wrong. I like Cuban food too. You know, I will go like every time I go back home. I usually would get like vaca frita with con gris. You know, you get tostones. I don't do maduros though. I don't like plant. I don't like plátanos. So like Cuban food, pretty much Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican food. It's more ropa vieja exactly. Ropa vieja or picadillo or like Cuban food, Cuban food, Dominican food, Puerto Rican food. They're all pretty much similar. It's gonna be like some sort of fried meat, like bistec, palomilla, or it's gonna be vaca frita or ropa vieja, picadillo, or you know carne asada, and then it's gonna come with arroz y frijoles, rice and beans, and then you're gonna get a side of plátanos or maduros, which I do not get. Cannot stand the smell of plantains. But for some odd reason, I can fuck up some tostones. I prefer Cuban Mexican food in New Jersey. Does not hit. I didn't get it. So you can't go. No. New Jersey is no. You cannot get. If you want Mexican food, you're gonna either have to come to Chicago, go to Texas, or you're gonna have to go out to California. But New Jersey, that's pretty much Cuban, Puerto Rican. Anywhere on the East Coast, yeah. But if you want real Mexican food, you're gonna have to go to Chicago. Come to Chicago, because Chicago, people don't. I don't think something that does. People don't realize Chicago is pretty much like half Mexican. Like not 50% of the of the city's population is Mexican. I don't know how they got up here. That shit is mind blowing. I'm like, how did Mexicans get to motherfucking Chicago of all places. I gotta do research on that shit because it's been Mexicans in Chicago for like 4 or 5 generations now. Little Village, yeah, Pilsen, La Villita, Pilsen. Oh, Chicago does have the best. Yeah, Chicago's a huge meat city too. But California, Texas, Chicago, but you can't get no real. You're not gonna get good quality. You're not gonna get no. You gotta see. Here's the thing. If you really want good Mexican food, you gotta go to a city where they got Mexican neighborhoods. In Chicago, we just don't even have Mexican neighborhoods. We got whole suburbs like Berwyn, Cicero, North Riverside, and there's a small. I mean, there's a large Puerto Rican population here too, but not like Mexican. Chicago's have Mexican, so it's Mexican restaurants all over the place in Chicago. I mean, I literally like right even where I live, it's like 5 different Mexican restaurants, literally. Like it's more Mexican restaurants than black restaurants, and Chicago is a black ass city too. It's Mexican restaurants everywhere. But that Mexican food though, you can't go wrong. I'm about to make tacos tomorrow actually. You can't go wrong with Mexican food. You really can't. It's just so and it's so simple yet so yeah. I feel like out of all of the cuisines that exist, I don't know how it's so crazy how Mexican has been the one that's like it's like the algorithm of like nature converged onto Mexico. It's like even when it comes to alcohol and drinks, tequila and shit. I went to Mexico, man. Let me tell you, tequila, that shit is damn near a drug over there. Okay, I was in motherfucking Riviera Maya. Oh my god, I was on a tour of. Where did we go? Oh, I went to Tulum, and when I went back, we was on the tour bus, and the tour guide had a bottle of tequila, and in Mexico, they they give you they have like their own version of like this grapefruit soda. It's like a national soda over there. They give that to that tequila. That shit had me feeling like I was having psychedelic hallucinations. I was like, what the fuck is this? I was like, oh my god. That tequila, that shit will fuck. But Chicago, yeah, fresca and tequila, exactly. But I'm telling you, that Mexican food, you can that shit is even Mexican seafood, mariscos. Mexican. I used to go to this one Mexican seafood restaurant all the time. I'm telling you, Mexican food is that shit is the algorithm of culture. That shit really they mastered that shit. Cause I ain't never had any other. Now Chinese food. I think Chinese food comes in the second. They're kind of Chinese food comes in second, but something about that Mexican food. I cannot put my finger on it. Can't put my finger on it. And apparently, real Thai food is disgusting. That's something that's been blown. Oh, you know what? Jamaican food. Yeah, Jamaican is up there too. Yeah, I would say next to, you know what, somebody should do that, like a fusion between Mexican and Jamaican food. That would be like a dope concept. Like, well, there's actually plenty of jerk taco restaurants here in Chicago too. Indian food, that shit is funky. I'm sorry, but it is. No, oxtail quesadilla, exactly. You cannot go wrong with Mexican. Everything about, I'm telling you, every time you go to, there's everything on the on the menu. You could literally eat anything off of it. I've never been to a restaurant like that. That's actually crazy when you think about it. Whether it's tacos, a burrito, but you know it makes sense because if you think about it, look at Chipotle. They're like the largest, or one of the largest fast food chains. Taco Bell, Moe's, motherfucking what's the other place? Like, you really cannot go wrong. I don't like sushi. I mean, I can eat it, but it's not my go-to. It's not my favorite. The only thing I don't like about going to Mexican restaurants, especially here in Chicago, they gonna play that mariachi music, and all that shit sounds the same to me, and I'll be so mad sometimes. Cause you go inside, and the Mexican restaurants, they be packed to the T. And then they got a Mexican band in there. They be like, I be like, that should be so loud too. That should be so motherfucking loud. I be like, oh my god, that mariachi music, this shit be loud as shit. I would never go vegan. I would never do that. There was something else I was gonna say about Mexican restaurants, Mexican food. Then they didn't fucked it up too, because now they got everybody eating birria. I'm telling you, that Mexican food, they be having people in the stranglehold. There's actually a place here I want to try. They do like birria ramen. But yeah, I've never had authentic Tex-Mex though. I want to try that too. And then I would love to see if they have like Mexican barbecue. Have you ever had Salvadoran pupusas? What is that? I've heard of that before, but what is that? I actually want to go back to Mexico. They got the best beaches, hands down. They got the best beaches. I hear Mexico City is pretty nice too. But it's crazy when you go to like the Riviera Maya, you see the difference between like Mexicans in the Yucatan Peninsula, like the people who are pretty much the descendants of the Mayans, versus like the Mexicans that live from like in Central and North Mexico, and like they have more Aztec ancestry, and it's just like it's crazy because you go to Cancun and like You're like, oh my God. Yeah, like I said, Chicago is predominantly Mexican. And it kind of reminds me of being in Miami in a way. You know, my tios be grilling LML. I need to visit Mexico. Yeah, I'm telling you, because Cuban food is not, it's not like that at all. And Cubans really don't eat a lot. One thing people don't realize, Cubans don't eat a lot. Well, you know what Cubans do a lot of, to be honest with you? They have like, a lot of times you go to Miami, a lot of Cuban restaurants, they have like pretty much a cafe attached to the Cuban restaurant that sits near the entrance, and you see you see more people going to that, getting like, empanadas or pastelitos, or they get like cafecitos or cortaditos, or Cuban colada, or they get espresso. They just really eat like bread, like, you know like tostada, with butter on shit on it. They'll just eat like bread and coffee. But they be sipping on that motherfucking espresso all day long, yipping and yapping. Because that Cuban espresso will have you feeling like you're on dope. You need to leave that dope alone. He need to leave that dope alone. That shit, that Cuban espresso is dope. You won't even want to eat. That shit is dope. I'm sorry. That shit is. Your ass will be wired for like days sipping on that damn Cuban espresso. And it sucks too, because my parents, they don't live in Miami anymore. They moved. So now I'm gonna have to like go out of my way to go back to Miami if I want to get some Cuban espresso. No, my mom did tell me they got some Cuban restaurants and stuff up there that way where they live now, Port St. Lucie. So we'll see, but I'm supposed to be going there pretty soon. But yeah, that Cuban espresso, that shit will have your ass. You be like, I'm telling you, that shit. I, you study Spanish when you're in school, and then you hear like actual Cuban Spanish. You be like, what in the fuck did you say? Because they talk like a million miles per hour because of that damn Cuban espresso. That shit will, I'm telling you, it will have you lit. And it's crazy because Mexican Spanish is actually a little bit slower, I noticed. But you know what? I was really paying attention to this one day. Mexican Spanish has definitely Native American roots. It sounds more akin to like a Native American language. I was really paying attention to this one day. I was like, if because you ever hear like actual Native Americans talk in their native languages, it's very similar to that. But that Cuban Spanish, that shit is so fast. I was like, what? Same thing with Dominican Spanish too. But anyways, guys, I gotta get going. It's pretty late and I am tired. So I'm gonna holler at you guys.